I was genuinely enjoying my New Year's, and then I remembered we have tiering changes. So let's discuss them. What do we got for the month of January, aka the first day of 2025, aka the new year? I don't know what the year of 2025 is, but let's just get to it. The rises, first of all, 3 rises to OU, which I think are all pretty significant. Blissey, I'm kind of surprised about Blissey, to be honest, but Pecharunt and Araquanid are not super surprising in my opinion. Pecharunt's a really good pivoter, status spreader, defensive wall, and Araquanid is probably the best sticky webber in the tier right now, having enough bulk to allow it to use Custap Berry as well, which is a really cool tech, and Water Bubble just makes it very strong on the offensive side of the ball. So this kind of makes sense to me. Rises back to UU. Looks like we have a couple Psychic Terrain beneficiaries, so we might see Indeedee Male rise up to UU here soon as well, with Hawlucha and Poltegeist, both of which I presume are there because of Psychic Terrain users. One obviously benefiting from Unburden, and the other benefiting from the fact that you can't use priority move against it. Zarude, I'm not really sure why it's in UU. I don't know have enough ball knowledge to know that. And same with Revavroom and Caulk. Don't really know. And especially Mew. I need to play UU apparently. We're going to do a UU video with all 6 of these guys and see how it goes. It's going to go bad. But anyway, we got Suicune, Rosa, RU. And then Raikou and Scyther are officially in U now. Skeledurgion, or not, that's not Skeledurgion. Oh my god, wow, that's oh my gosh, I cannot think of your name, but that's Gastrodon and that's Meloetta. Decidueye, Alolan, aka normal version, are all in NU as well. And Tornadus Therian. No, that's Tornadus Incarnate, yeah. Oh my gosh. It looks like I left my Pokemon knowledge in 2024, folks. I apologize, but we got Articuno Galar rising up to PU along with Magic Fox, Chick, and Uxie. And then we got my favorite bird, the stupid bird, aka, oh my god, look, folks. I might have actually forgotten the Pokemon, but shh, don't tell anyone. Okay, now for the drops. We got Deoxys-Speed down in UU. This isn't the first time Deoxys-Speed has found itself dropping in UU. We'll see if it stays down there. I'm guessing it'll probably move back up eventually, but I feel like Deoxys-Speed, oh my goodness, wow. Really struggled in this current OU metagame. Fast Spikes was nice, I guess, but honestly, Samurai, his UI does the job better at that. And Psychic is just not real great right now. I don't think, especially with like the prevalence of Pokemon like King Gambit. So that one kind of makes sense to me. I am surprised about Mamoswine dropping to RU. I thought Mamoswine was really good in OU as well as like an meta lead. But yeah, now it's down in RU. The 2 weather conditions also fall down to NU. Miss, Alolan, Ninetales, and Torkoal. Snow, not hail, snow and sun. And then Amoonguss keeps falling down the tiering rung, unfortunately. Sad to see. Torterra's down in PU. It might actually be useful in PU, so I might actually try a PU video as well because Shell Smash Torterra is really attractive to me. So, no one take that out of context. And then we got Hitmon top. Yes, Hitmon top, and then Rotom Leaf down in ZU. So, looking more at the OU usage data stats for December, because this is what we care about. So, we'll go over the top 10 as the top 10 have like actual numbers, and then this is the rest of them. And then we'll go into the raw numbers later in the video. It's always timestamped down below. The biggest thing to me for this top 10 is Landorus is so back. I don't think it ever really left, but King Gambit down to number 3 and Raging Bolt up to number 4 though. These two are the most surprising to me because King Gambit has shown absolute dominance since it came to the OU tier, and it's really taken a hit. Now it's still number 3, which is pretty big. Not saying it's not a great Pokemon, obviously, but this Pokemon used to be in the 40% usage rate. So seeing it down at 25% is kind of surprising, and I'm guessing this is just because Zamazenta's prevalence, multiple ways to burn him, the physically defensive Landorus that's also used to counter Zamazenta, Encore's prevalence. There's multiple things working against King Gambit in this meta right now, but still at number 3 with a 25% usage rate. Kyurem's up to number 11. Kyurem dodged a ban. earlier in this generation, like, and by earlier I mean like a month or two ago. Covered that in detail. I'll probably put a card up if I remember at the 505 mark. Going back, hey, Arctic Monkeys reference. Gliscor dropped down to number 18 though, which is pretty crazy to see, especially because Gliscor now seems to, I could be wrong. I thought Gliscor was top 10 in the last tiering changes though. So I could be wrong about that, but I thought it was top 10. So seeing it all the way down at number 18 surprised me, especially because there's more set variants in Gliscor now. There's not only Spike Setter, but there's offensive too. And I'm not talking about pinch your tits. I'm talking like swords, just Sword Dance, Protect, Knockoff, Earthquake. I've even seen some knockoff Facade sets, which is really insane behavior. But of course, I'm sure this is partially because of Balloon Golden Ghost prevalence in the meta right now, which just makes it kind of hard to use. So I understand. Iron Shred's up at number 21 though. That's cool to see considering it was almost about to fall out. Or it did fall down to UU early in the generation. As for the three newcomers, Pecharunt is very comfortably in at number 30, whereas Araquanid comes in at number 37, and Blissey just barely makes the cutoff. Again, we'll look at that percentage number here in a bit. Creamerina over at 32, I think is interesting as well. And Walking Wake was at threat of dropping off last tier shift, I believe. So seeing Walking Wake a little bit more comfortably in now is cool to see. So also everyone who's gone the fish to number 24, I hate you. Okay, Scarlet and Violet usage stats overall. This is for the lower tiers and Uber. So these are just for the top 10s. I always just go over these just to see if there's any like Pokemon that are like about to raise a tier, about to drop a tier, and also if there are tiering changes that are going to affect these tiers. And honestly, I'm not seeing a whole lot of like, well, actually is Mess. Hold on, I gotta check. No, it's Yuxie who's raising the tier. Okay, cool. But Decidueye H, I think, just said it was raising a tier. Yeah, so Decidueye H is out of PU, which is gonna make ZU look a whole lot more different considering, I mean, anytime a top 10 Pokemon leaves your tier, it leaves a gaping hole for other Pokemon to take in that role. So ZU is probably going to look quite a bit differently now. I also see though that Gastrodon and Meloetta were top 10 in the PU tier, and those guys are, wasn't Mudsdale actually too? Isn't Mudsdale leaving too? No, I'm crazy. Okay, Mudsdale isn't leaving, but Gastro and Melo are both going to NU, so that'll be interesting now that they don't have those two. I'm sorry, folks. I keep going back. Bellybolt is, yeah, Bellybolt's fine. NU though, NU looks like it'll stay the same. RU looks like it'll stay the same, and UU looks like it'll pretty much stay the same. So not a whole lot of changes here, actually. I'm shocked. There's usually at least, the fact that there's only like 3 Pokemon here in the top 10 that are going to be moving up a tier is pretty rare, I feel like. I feel like it's usually a lot more than that, so that's kind of wild to see. In terms of the Ubers tier though, that is crazy. And if you guys don't know, Miraidon did get banned from Ubers. So that's a huge gap. The number 1 Pokemon has a over 20% difference between it and the number 2 Pokemon, which is very significant. And I'm also a little shocked that Kyogre is only at a 30% usage, considering the rain is a way to, counter Koraidon's Sun. But, that's interesting to me. Okay, let's go over usage data, because I don't want to waste any more of your guys' time. So raw data, and this is, hold on, stats for this shift are based on October, November, and December usage weighted equally. Oh, right. So this usage data is just for December. I should have totally mentioned that. So yeah, these stats might be a little bit different. I'm sorry for the notification bug in the up there. Don't pay attention to that. We're just gonna crop in. Actually, I'm saying this now so I remember to do it in the video. So if you want to see the cutoff points, it's a 4.52% cutoff. And here's something really interesting. Despite the fact that Palafin just got introduced to the tier, literally just got introduced like 2 weeks ago, it is already at a 4.51%, which I kind of expected. And I even said that when Palafin originally got released, that it was probably going to be very used just because it's a new toy and people are excited to see it. And people also don't know if they're ever going to get to use it again in OU. So this one doesn't surprise me at all, but wow, that is actually crazy. In terms of the OU rises, though, Pecharunt was at 5.943%, which is pretty comfortable. Araquanid and Blissey, though, were just on the fritz, but they did comfortably make it in. Rabombi, it's weird, though, because Araquanid has some sticky web competition from Rabombi, and combined, they make for a 9% usage rate. So if that tells you anything, folks, sticky web is a very viable strategy in the OU tier right now. Deoxys is down on its luck at 4%. Torkoal, though, which is now dropped down to Inu, is at 4% usage in OU. Of course, Torkoal being the one of two ways you can get Sun, Ninetales Standard being the other. And I'm actually curious to see how far Ninetales is all the way down to 1.44%, which surprised me a little bit because I feel like there's a Ninetales Sun team that was making the rounds pretty recently. So I'm shocked that it's this low, but you know, that's what it is. And Tinkaton, which I thought was going to be in the OU tier, considering how it was performing in the OU tier, considering its September usage rate, is only now at 3.67%. So Tinkaton has not made it to OU, which is really surprising to me. But yeah, that's why that's the, and I'm gonna look at UU too. I haven't played much UU, but I think UU is interesting to look at because it is the tier right below OU. So it sometimes tells you some things about the meta with OU. So I always kind of take a look at it and take a look too at you know, how they might drop. Something interesting though, Poltegeist was all the way at a 9.888% usage rate, which is crazy high. Number 21 is crazy high for a Pokemon that had to rise up from RUBL into UU. So that's pretty crazy to see. Where on the other hand, Hawlucha was, where was Hawlucha at? Hawlucha was at number 38 at a 5.33%. Zarude right below it at 5.2%. And Indeedee, which I think was going to raise to OU, considering these other Pokemon seem to indicate that the Pokemon might raise to OU, is at a 3.31%. So I apologize. I totally forgot to turn my ringer off. So, but my ringer just indicated to me that it is the end of the video. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you all very much for watching. That is the usage trends. Be on the lookout. I will be doing a UU video with these 6 fine fellows right here, and I will be doing a PU video with this handsome fellow right here. Just you know, kind of see how we're doing, what's going on, you know. See, and I'll probably be doing a OU video with Araquanid too to see if the hype is worth it. It is very rare for a Pokemon to go all the way from NU to OU. That's a 3-tier differential. So that's pretty huge. So yeah, we'll definitely need to try it. All right, that's all I got. So thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great 2025. I'll see you guys later. And don't forget to hit the hat, enter the hat giveaway. Entries are only open for another couple days. We might extend it though, considering how many entries we have right now. But go join it. It's free. Free hat. Free hat. All right. Peace.